These draws for Raleigh is how great it is a place to raise families, but is it also one of the most expensive places to raise a family? One study says it is, and tonight CBS 17 digital reporter Jody McCrary is fact-checking that.
The report looks at hundreds of places across the country and puts the costs here near the top, saying our numbers are high because of one specific expense.
Does raising kids in Raleigh come with a bigger price tag than it does in other places? One website says it does. A study by Smart Asset says raising just one child in Raleigh costs more than $24,000 a year, more than $3,500 above the national average.
So that puts Raleigh into the top 15% most expensive places to raise a child.
Managing editor Jacqueline DeJohn says those numbers are based on the living wage calculator from MIT. It comes up with those costs for all sorts of combinations of adults and children.
It actually gives you raw numbers of what real people are paying for these different components.
2 adults and 1 child in Raleigh cost about $75,000. For 2 adults with no kids, $51,000. Subtract them and you get $24,000. The study looks at 3 broad categories and says one stands out.
The biggest factor here is childcare costs.
It's not a new problem, and it's part of the reason why Governor Cooper and lawmakers from both parties say childcare across the state is approaching a cliff.
A city survey found more than 80% of Raleigh residents call it a good place to raise children. So how does that balance out when you factor in the high costs? DeJohn explains why there's a trade-off in my story online. Jody McCrary, CBS 17 News.